I'm often asked why I chose to get involved in helping run the group. I'm proud of its history, where it's come from and what we stand for. But the answer is very simple. I'm passionate and excited about what we're going to achieve going forward. The pillars of what the group is built upon I don't think have changed for its first 30 years of existence. We're a group of independent firms that have chosen to work together for the good of our firms and for the good of our clients. And that's why our mantra of building better together is absolutely what we're about. Now, Nick and I went around the country visiting most of our member firms, and we heard loads of examples of how the group had helped our members and their businesses. But one of the biggest opportunities members felt we should take advantage of is building that UK 200 name in the marketplace. Now, Sally Wise, our CEO, retired over the summer, and she's been with the group for the majority of its first 30 years, and that's a huge amount of knowledge to replace. But when we were deciding on a new CEO, it became clear that our strategy could only be achieved by having a full-time resource dedicated to promoting the group to the outside world. And that's why we recruited Declan, someone with his skills, experience and expertise, and it really reflects the focus and commitment we have going forward on promoting UK 200 Group. Our new image was rolled out over the spring and summer, and I think we've got something that's fresh, clear and unified. It included a new website that makes it easier to understand who we are and why people should engage with us. There is plenty to do. Declan's going to share a few of our actions and ideas that we're taking going forward, but this doesn't mean we're going to pay any less attention to the core offering of the group or expanding member services. And indeed, progressing one aspect normally has another positive aspect on our offering. What we do want, though, is to make sure more people know more about the group. So, you've asked the executive to focus on building our brand image. We've listened, we're on the road. We're fully fuelled, we've even left the petrol forecourt. We're not quite ready to open the packet of Werthers we bought for the journey just yet, but trust me, it's a big bag of sweets and there's plenty to go around. I'll hand you over to Declan Swan, our new CEO.
Good morning. I have a number of observations to make before I begin formally. One is that you are all here. I am stunned, frankly. The second observation is Steve's rather interesting approach to marketing. He asked me last night over dinner, how would I make sure, by the way, that he and the overseas associates would be known by the members. I assured him, by the way, that we already knew he was spending time with each and every one of us in a quality way. But having said all that, clearly the way to do it is win at the tables and then don't come in the next morning and get your name announced. So we can all learn from that. Right, what I'd like to do is start formally by saying it's a pleasure to be here. I've been lucky and fortunate enough to have been appointed as Chief Executive of what I think is a wonderful organisation. And I want to try and give you a flavour of how I think we're going to move forward in the future. Now, James has painted a vision. He's painted an aim. And I want to tell you this. When I got a call not that long ago asking me if I was interested in coming to talk to the UK 200 Group, having run membership organisations for quite a few years, what really struck me was building better together. Because I knew instantly what that meant. I didn't need to ask. I just knew what it meant. And I don't think it's just a name. I think that's actually ethos. It's the way we behave. And, we can certainly party well together, so I'm pretty sure we can build well together. Now, moving forward, I've been here 7 weeks, so I'm beyond the honeymoon period. I'm an old hand, and what I'm worried about is that you might think that some of the words I talked to you about this morning might come across as being a bit rushed. And I want to make sure you don't disbelieve what I say. And therefore, I want to assure you that everything I'm going to tell you has been planned, has been thought through. The best thing about all of this is that the speakers yesterday absolutely teed us up. Justin gave us a lot of data, and the good news is, for me at least, I've included a lot of that data in my thinking. So we have not rushed this, we've followed the process, and behind what I'm going to tell you, we've got a marketing plan. And that marketing plan starts with 3 goals. Going back to the Werthers original idea, I thought this vision of James and myself in the front, driving along, probably me behind the wheel, with James telling me exactly where I'm meant to be going. And we've got Kevin Powell, I'm delighted to say will be our Vice President, and I suspect he'll be the back saying, are we there yet? So what I'm thinking is, we better make sure we know exactly what the direction of travel is. And this is what it's going to be all about. It's all about you, the members. The UK 200 brand is very, very important, but that's not the fundamental issue here. It's making sure your services are front and centre in the marketplace, and that's what we're going to do. But before I tell you how we're going to do it, here's the direction. Number one, we want SMEs to know that you exist. Now, we already have your clients. We know that. That's not the issue. The question is, do you want to grow? Well, we want to help you grow. That's going to be very, very important. So we've got to think about that. Secondly, we need wide participation. There simply weren't enough people here late enough last night, in my opinion, and we need to deal with that. But that aside, we need to make sure other people in the firms come to our events, get excited about what we're doing. I've been to 7 weeks. I'm really excited about this. James is, Nick is, we all are, you are. We've got to make sure other people get excited. And that, by the way, isn't just about us. That's about our clients. I want SMEs to know that they've got an alternative to other firms, which they use anyway because they always have. And I run a few businesses, and that's how we tend to operate. We need to know that the UK group exists. And then thirdly, a membership organisation cannot be a good membership organisation unless it refreshes itself, replenishes its members. So at the heart of this, we're going to have to make sure, there's the Prime Minister calling it out to ask me what I'm doing. But what we're going to do is make sure we absolutely make sure that more people want to join this organisation, more firms want to join this organisation. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, we've got some marketing ideas, but we've called these big ideas. I'm not sure they are. We've picked 4. Now, some of you are going to recognise some of the themes here, and that's a good thing, because we're not building on nothing. We're building on a track record of success and a foundation of achievement. And that's really important to say, because if you recognise some stuff here, that's a good thing. But what we're going to do with it is make it more innovative, freshen it, and take it out there. And all of this is about looking outwards, generally speaking. First big idea. We're going to put together an idea which we're going to call SME Voice. I'll tell you about all of these in a second. I'll just draw them in first. We're going to get our industry groups absolutely charged and moving forward, making sure we get into new sectors on an industry-by-industry basis. We're going to create a pathways program to help those people who are below partner level move up the line. And we're going to create, and this is new, an entrepreneurship academy, which chimes very much with what we heard from Justin yesterday. Let me just take you through each of these briefly, if I may. The first idea is called SME Voice. This is a program of high-profile national events, and we know we can do this locally because I've already been to some organised by members, which are excellent. And the general formula is, what we'll do is put an event together, probably with a debate, probably based on one of the topics we've talked about this morning, before James and I sabotaged the exercise so we could get home battle early, which we didn't, by the way. And what we're going to do is make sure that those events suit SMEs. Now, why would we do that? We would do that because we want to make sure SMEs can see that we are supporting them. And bearing in mind that's our key market, that's going to be very, very important. And that's about growing market share. And we will work with you. So we're not asking you to do this for ourselves. We will come and help you. And the benefits are all going to be about positioning the members as trusted advisors to SMEs. And I'll take you back to Justin yesterday. Do you remember that slide he showed us, where he showed us how he believes SMEs trust the accountancy that they receive and they trust law firms? This is what this is all about. Next idea, industry groups. Not just any old industry group. We've already got 6 and they're fantastic. We're going to supercharge these industry groups. We're going to take them out and we're going to make sure that while we're doing the national initiative with Voice, we're going to start getting our brand into sectors on an industry-by-industry basis, as I've said. And this will ensure that our brand is known, but your services will be understood by SMEs. And what that will do is that will make sure that influencers know who you are and what you do. It's about brand recognition. It's about familiarity. It's about securing trust and developing those relationships. And I'm very excited about this, by the way. I could for hours, so the chair is going to keep me on track. But I've seen this in action. If we put some serious supercharge behind this, this is going to be amazing. Third big idea, Pathways program. We received a fantastic presentation yesterday from Mike Sturgis, I think is the right name, and Mike did a great job. He showed us what succession is all about. This is our response. We're going to make sure that you have access to good training which meets the needs of your people around soft skills, but also training around business development, marketing, whatever it might be, in order that we can take the 2,000 or 3,000 employees that we know about. And by the way, I think together we probably employ about 4,000, but that's just what we believe from benchmarking overall. We'll validate that. And we're going to find the talent, we're going to nurture the talent, and we're going to address succession. That's a really exciting idea. And that's also going to start putting you on the map as employers in their own right. And this is not an aside. You are SMEs in your own right. You know how to run businesses. That's why you're not just accountants, and you are certainly not just lawyers. You are actually business advisors, because you know how to do it. That's a really important point. Let me bring you to the last of the four. This is the Entrepreneurship Academy. What you are asking is an Entrepreneurship Academy. Well, I was delighted yesterday morning because I wasn't sure how to communicate this to you. What Justin said, I keep mentioning Justin, he's been incredibly helpful. Somewhere in his presentation, he pointed to the fact that change is on its way. He pointed to the fact that more businesses have been opened in this country in the last couple of years than ever before. Last year was a bumpery year for business startups. And what he pointed to the fact was that in those businesses, you've got owner-operators who are starting off. Now, they could be any age. What we also know is that there are business schools around the country which are different from the kind of universities we might have been used to in the past. Those business schools are offering entrepreneurship programs, often on an MBA style. But here's the kicker. The students who are going to these courses aren't just going in as students with a vague idea of what they want to do. They are in these business schools to create programs, business plans specifically, which will create wealth. And I've met students who have significant money to invest. And this is all about what we heard from Justin and people yesterday about how you are planning your family's future, you're planning your future in terms of wills and so on and so forth, and how will you manage the finances of the family many years down the road, generationally speaking. So, what we're saying here is, let's go find out who these people are. Let's get to know them. And while we're doing all the good things we're doing, let's make sure that we're giving something back by helping some of these people. I say people, students, really understand how a business operates. And having been involved in this kind of work in the past, recently, I know that the two areas these people could really use some help with is around the finances and the legals. So we're in exactly the right position to do this. The way we'll do this is by partnering with business school. We'll create a program and we'll make sure it's high impact to us. We will use it for PR purposes, absolutely, and we will use it to ensure key influencers at the very top of whichever tree we want to get to are aware of who we are and what we do. So those are four big ideas. There will be others. This is all backed up by a detailed plan based upon data, and I need to emphasise it wasn't difficult to do this in 7 weeks because we're building on a very, very healthy platform of very effective organisational leadership over the last 30 years. I don't know where we're going to be in 30 years' time, but I know where we're going to be if we do this in 2 years' time. We're going to be where we want to be. Now, you're going to say to me, that's all very well, but what's in it for us? Okay, let's have a look at what's in it for you. Final slide. Here. This is all about better membership services. This is about making sure we don't lose quality. And when I was speaking to James last night, we said, you couldn't possibly give a presentation of the future of this organisation without mentioning quality. Because this isn't just any organisation. I mean, not just anybody can join. In fact, I know from experience that some organisations will never make the grade. They cannot sit in this room with us. That's just a given. So my job is absolutely to recruit members. But only members that meet our quality standards. And that's a benefit because that distinguishes you in the marketplace from many others. Cost reductions. We've got some fantastic business partners here with us at this conference, and they're part of our plans. And they're going to help us, without any doubt, reduce costs where we possibly can. And we need to look into that, because our purchasing power overall will have to drive those benefits. Then, of course, you've got market position. We talked about that. That's really important. Business development. Well, it's all about business development. We have to grow, all of us. And then it's about specific CPD. You can get good accountancy, good law support. There's lots of schools and colleges doing that, lots of providers. But where do you get those skills that Mike talked about yesterday? Well, we've got partners who can help us with that. And then finally, there's brand. There's something more important than brand, isn't there? There's image. How do we look in the marketplace? Do our customers recognise us? And I think our image is going to be absolutely vital. So we're going to make you look very good in the marketplace, and we're going to take this brand to where it needs to get to. Okay, so does it all tie together? This is my validation grid, just to make sure. Do we think that these issues will work together? I think they will. You can see that if we do the 4 ideas, it drives us forward, we will then in effect deliver the goals, deliver the vision. So thank you very much for listening. I will finish by saying congratulations to James on becoming president. I'm looking forward to working with him. Thank you to the executive for supporting these plans. But most of all, thank you to all of you. Some of you I've met in the last few weeks, and you've all contributed towards this plan. Let's take ownership of it, and let's build better together. Thank you indeed.
Thank you very much, Declan. So we know there are high-quality firms that should be UK 200 members if only they were aware of how much we offer. There are professional industry contacts that we could work more closely with. There are business owners, charities and individuals and so on that would be clients of our firms if only they knew more about us. So I want to end with 3 questions. If you believe your firm could benefit from moving the group from what seems like the best kept secret to something more prominent in the marketplace, if you like the idea of UK 200 Group playing a greater part in getting your firm more work, and if you want your membership of the group to further distinguish your firm from its competitors, back the brand. We really can't do it without you. Thank you very much.